They're just closing in and they're coming up.
We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our Squadron Honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen display throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. Your words of encouragement helped motivate these airmen through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of your airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Colonel Fisher will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know how they look. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for traveling here and joining us in Military City, USA on an incredible morning to celebrate some fabulous men and women. They have been doing some incredible and amazing things for you and our country over the last 7.5 weeks. Thank you so much for attending. I know a lot of you read the headlines over the last 7.5 weeks. And there's a lot of stuff going out there in the world. And sometimes those headlines don't sound very good. But I know that you had those discussions with the men and women standing before us today. And I am so honored and humbled that after reading those headlines, you sent America's best to the United States Air Force to try and help make those headlines sound just a little bit better. Thank you for the trust that you've placed in the Air Force. Thank you for the trust that you've given the Gateway Wing to the Air Force. I think you'll agree that we've done a pretty good job with today's graduates. Thank you so much for your support. I wanted to say just a special moment of thanks to the veterans in our audience with us today. If there are any veterans in the audience with us today, please stand up so we can recognize you. So to my veterans with us in the audience today, thank you so much for the example that you've set for us. We can only do what we do today based on your history of valor and your tradition of excellence. I hope that you realize and appreciate the fact that we are standing on your shoulders today. We cannot do what we do today without what you've done in the past. Thank you so much. And you know what? I'm so grateful for the example that you continue to provide for not only our newest airmen today, but everybody in the Air Force. Thank you so much for your service. I'd also also like to offer one final word of thanks as we graduate these airmen today. One final word of thanks to the military training instructors for the 737th Training Group. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of people serve in the Air Force, but MTIs do something a little bit different. MTIs create the Air Force. These MTIs dedicate themselves to creating the Air Force one trainee and now one airman at a time. I'm so proud to serve beside these incredible men and women as we build the Air Force one airman at a time. Thank you very much to our MTI Corps. So now, to the Air Force's brand new airmen. You know, you could have been anywhere over the last 7.5 weeks. You read the same headlines that our visiting family and friends did. You read those headlines, and you said to yourself, I'd like to make those headlines sound just a little bit better. I am so happy that you took on that challenge to make yourself better, to become a part of something bigger than yourselves. But I only have one tasking for you today. I want you to take those core values that we've taught you, and I want you to make them your own. You need to hold on to those core values of integrity, service, and excellence. Your Air Force, your country, will demand great things of you in the future. And those core values is what will carry the day for you. And not just for yourself, but for your fellow airmen. There's an old proverb that states, when the load gets heavy, let me not ask for a lighter load. Let me ask for broader shoulders. I hope the last 7.5 weeks in the 737th Training Group has given you the broad shoulders that you will need for the future, because your country needs great things from you. Your country needs your broad shoulders to make those headlines sound just a little bit better. So really, I only have one question for you today. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I think they sound like they're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Fisher will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest Air Force.
Thank you, Colonel Fisher. Ladies and gentlemen,